Check. Time. Oh. Hey there, guys. I didn't even see you there. I did, I'm lying. I just hit record and walked away and came back and acted like I didn't see you there. But I really did. You're kind of dirty right now. Hold on. You got some on your face. You stinky motherfucker. What's going on, everybody? My name is Freeman. You can call me 2FreeOG, FreeOG. I go by those two names usually on the internet. Or Freeman just works out fine. And today I kind of wanted to talk about my experiences of buying my first gun and what to look for usually when you're buying your first gun. I don't claim to know a lot. I don't claim to know everything. I know a decent amount, and I just wanted to talk about the things that I did wrong and some of the things that I could have done better, just so you maybe can avoid some of the same issues that I went through. To begin, the first gun that I got was a Smith & Wesson SD9 VE, and yes, I still have the gun. Let's see, this is it right here. I'll drop the mag. The gun is empty, nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag well. The gun is empty, safe direction, clear. This was my first gun that I ever bought, and I have a lot of opinions about this gun. Overall, I will say the gun kind of sucks. I didn't know anything about guns coming into the gun world. I went to a gun shop after I got my CPL. Actually, let's start from the beginning. So I got my CPL because my girlfriend, actually, she was in the process of figuring out if she wanted to get a CPL and start shooting guns. And I felt like I was behind because I didn't have any experience with guns. I've never shot a gun before then. And when she said she was going to get her CPL, I was like, you know what, I might as well hop into the market too and see, you know, what the whole gun world is about, or the firearm world is about. So I dove straight in, took a 2-day CPL class out in Grand Rapids. I'll link the people on here. I'm sorry, it's been so long since I did it. I don't remember exactly who it was, but I'll link them on here if I find them. 2-day CPL class, got my CPL in. Immediately went to a gun shop. So I went to a gun shop with no idea what I wanted to buy. I just know I wanted to get some kind of 9mm gun with a light because I wanted to use it for home defense, and that's all I had to go off. So when I went to the shop, initially I went and I shot a couple guns. I went and shot a Glock 19. I went and shot a Glock 43, which is a smaller version of the 43X. I didn't really like it as much because of the grip. And then I shot a 43X, which I kind of liked. And then I shot a Glock 17. So I shot mostly Glocks, and then I shot an M&P 2.0 as well with the curved trigger, kind of like this one, similar to the trigger system in here. And I shot all those, and then after I came out, I decided that, hey, I'm just going to buy me a gun right now. It'll be easier for me just to get the gun right now and not to worry about it later. So, of course, I think most people know this when you go into a shop. If there's a shop owner there that's willing to give you advice on buying a new gun, most of the time they'll give you the suggestion of getting a Glock 19 because it covers so many of the check marks that somebody that wants to have a gun would need. It would work great for home defense. It'll work great for concealed carry. It'll work great for a lot of different opportunities. So, of course, the guy in the shop told me, hey, a Glock 19 Gen 5 for, I think at the time it was like $650 to $700. The prices are a little bit more inflated because I didn't know anything about buying guns online. Used guns, I thought everything, you know, you get new because I thought guns before, if they're bought by somebody, they usually get kept by them. So without that knowledge in my head, I seen the Glock 19 Gen 5 was about $650 to $700. And I was like, hey, I don't have that money right now. Is there anything cheaper that I can get a light with? Because I really want a light on my gun too because I'm using it for home defense. And of course, they were like, well, we have a gun with a light on it already, and it's the Smith & Wesson SD9 VE. I will say one thing, I should have listened to his advice the first time by taking the Glock 19, but I was being hard-headed and said, hey, this is a $300 gun, and it's a gun, right? It shoots bullets just like the Glock 19 does, and the SD9 VE, they have to send Glock a certain amount of money after somebody buys this gun because it's damn near a Glock 19 Gen 3 clone. So I said, hey, it'll be good enough. I'm going to get this and I'm going to be happy with it. And I got it and I was happy with it for a little bit until you get into the gun world and start shooting other guns. An issue I had with this gun for a while was the trigger being 7 million pounds. The trigger is 7 million pounds. I'm not even exaggerating. The trigger is 7 million pounds. It is. And I didn't know that a trigger made that much of a difference in the shootability of a gun. So I'll show you what the trigger is like. Everybody that shot an SD9 VE knows that this trigger has a long travel. It's a very long travel. The wall's here. After you get past the little nub here, the wall's here. The wall's right here. You keep pulling through. I'm pulling. I'm just pulling. I'm pulling hard, bro. I'm pulling so hard, and then it clicks. So, yeah, it's a 1,000,000 pound trigger, and then the reset is super long. Yeah, that's the reset right there. I don't know anything about triggers when I first had got this gun, and then I shot it for a couple times. I was like, it shoots well. It shoots low left, which, you know, all people that shoot low left say it shoots low left, but it's usually me. Yeah, I was just so ignorant to the game that I had no clue that getting this gun would be such a bad idea, especially for the aspect of me wanting to continue with training and getting good with shooting guns in general. This gun right here has a lot of drawbacks that wouldn't allow me to train as efficiently as something as like a Glock or like a Smith & Wesson, or, you know, something else that isn't meant for a self-defense purpose. There's 3 things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to buying your first gun. 3 things that I didn't know about that I wish I would have known about. First off, finding the purpose of the gun that you're gonna get. So I obviously went to the shop with the purpose of, hey, I wanted to get a gun that I want to use for home defense and potentially concealed carry. So that's why I say Glock 19. You can use it for both aspects. It'll be great for both aspects, but you know, obviously having the money for that thing in the first place is the best thing. So if you don't have the money for a gun that you feel it would be the best gun for you, I would suggest you save for that gun instead of going for the cheaper route, because you'll end up with something like this that you'll be stuck with for, you know, however long you can, and then the resale value on something like this is nowhere near the amount of money that you'll spend on it. So you'll end up wasting more money in the you know, the future to come, rather than just buying or saving and buying the gun that you want to get in the first place. Realize that your purpose is the purpose that you chose in the first place. Stick with that purpose and then choose the gun that you really wanted to get. Second, the accessory market. Obviously, I went in there and I wanted to get a gun with the light on it, and I was just so blinded by the idea of a gun already having a light on it rather than me having to go buy a light. This is a Crimson Trace light. It comes with a lot of models of the SD9s VEs. It's a very bad light, I'm not gonna lie. It's hold on, let's see if I can, like, it's not good at all. I want to compare it to my my current EDC. This is my PSA dagger. Yes, it is loaded because it's in carry configuration, but the difference between the lights, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense on how much better this light is compared to something like the Crimson Trace. So know what your purpose is of buying the gun, and realizing that accessory market, if you have an idea of what accessories you want, do research on those accessories. Make sure you like the look of it, the performance of it, and just everything about it before you just go out and buy something that's just as good, even though it's not just as good. And accessories don't just stop at lights, honestly. Accessories are anything you can put on this gun to make it feel or shoot a little bit better than it already does. For my carry gun, since I was carrying it for so long, I didn't want to make any changes to it because I wanted to keep it as stock as possible in case I had to use it in a self-defense situation. There's a lot of people that say if you manipulate your gun in any way and you get into a self-defense situation, you'll be charged for whatever, you know, things you have on there. I don't know too much about the laws of it all. It does seem like it'll make sense if you have like Punisher skulls on the back plate or things that suggest that you want to shoot somebody. Then that would make sense on how you could be charged more in a self-defense shooting. But I want to keep things as stock as possible on this carry gun. But accessories go for anything on the gun. Like I said, it can go for triggers, slide releases, mag releases, back plates, barrels, magazines. These magazines are $40. Look up how much your magazine costs. I know staccato magazines are like $100. If you can't afford ammo and magazines for your gun, I'd say don't buy the gun, honestly. These SD9 VE mags are $40. They're only proprietary towards these guns itself. I don't think there's any other guns that use these magazines. So I'm stuck with 4 mags now because I decided, hey, I wanted to get 4 magazines because I was shooting with this at competitions. Do your research on if it's your first gun. Make sure you have, I say, at least 4 magazines for the gun. That's the best thing. Glock comes with 3 magazines. So I would, like I said, it goes back into that. If I would have got Glock 19 Gen 5, I would have had to just buy another, what, $25 magazine, and I would have been set. But yeah, do your research on the cost of parts for certain things on your gun, the availability of them all. You don't want to buy a gun that's too proprietary towards a brand too, because in case they stop making that gun, you won't be able to get accessories for it or things for it if you need it. Do research on stuff like that if you care about stuff like that. And I think you should, as a first-time gun owner. You should care about your first gun and not make a purchase just off of something that doesn't make any sense for, you know, future-proofing yourself for having that gun. which is what I did, and I kind of wish I didn't do it. That's why I'm making a video. The one thing I did feel like I did right when it came to choosing a gun that I wanted to carry was going to a good place that had a holster for me. So I went to this place called Freedom Holsters in Westland, and they created me a holster that fit this gun specifically and the light. I was back and forth on the method that I wanted to carry, but ultimately appendix carry was what I went with. So I found this company named Neomag that made this Alias belt system. It's a very slim belt system that you use the small little clip you put onto your belt, and you just clip this right into that, and it'll you know, it allows you to take your gun out without having to take the entire clip off. And then I got into this, you know, belt system, this beltless system, the Alias beltless system, that allowed me to carry without a belt too. It just clicks right in here like this, and this is what I was carrying for a while. This this whole beltless system, and then just the Neomag Alias system in general. So I ain't shot this gun or carried this gun in a long time. So I don't have it anymore. I ain't got it like that. Finding what works for you best will be probably one of the bigger things when it comes to carrying. This just ended up working out for me in my favor. Honestly, I really enjoy using this Alias system. I don't use it as much anymore because I'm using my Tier 1 concealed MSP for my dagger, but this was a great system when I did have it. I just kind of wish I would have went with a different gun, and I probably would have stuck with it for a little bit longer. But the third thing I want to talk about was shooting comfortability. I actually do really like the way this feels in my hand, and the way things feel in your hand are very subjective. I honestly hate it. I hate saying that, but it makes sense. Some guns feel better in your hand than other guns. It feels weird saying that, but I know that you'll know the feeling when you go shoot a gun and say, oh yeah, this feels great in my hands. If it does feel great in your hands and you see yourself shooting it well in the future, or you shoot enough through it to where you say, hey, I do shoot this gun well, it may be the gun for you. But the general saying this gun feels good in my hand, it doesn't work for everybody. Go shoot some guns, as many things as you possibly can to get a feel for grip angles and you know, the different feel of grips and how stippling works in your hand, and it's a whole field. Guns are just, it's such a whole field of things that you can't just shoot one gun and be okay with you know, choosing something. So funny thing is, I didn't even get a chance to shoot this gun before I bought it. I honestly just bought it because he said it was similar to the Glock that I shot in the range. Learn from me, guys. Don't make the stupid mistakes that I made. Go shoot the gun that you think that you want to buy, because if you don't get a chance to shoot it, you won't know what it's going to be like, obviously, and you're going to be stuck with the gun for the foreseeable future until you sell it. And the last thing I want to talk about was general reliability of a gun. I think the SD9VE is a very reliable gun. I haven't had many hiccups on it, at least past the 500 or 600 round mark. I did have a couple light strikes, and there was actually one issue I'm having with it right now. My slide doesn't lock back all the time on the last round, and some people think that isn't big of a deal. In a self-defense shooting, you probably won't use all your bullets anyway, but since I was using this gun for my competition stuff for a while, and you know, not knowing about reloading on the fly, there would be instances where my gun does run dry and it doesn't lock back, and that slows your time down over a while, because if your gun doesn't lock back on the last round, then you won't know if you're empty or not, unless you count the rounds that you shoot. And this is a 15 round, supposed to be 16 round, but 15 round gun. So I've had instances where certain magazines aren't locking back. I sent it to Smith & Wesson. They told me that they fixed it. I went to the range and shot it again. It still doesn't work. So this gun has honestly just been sitting in the safe, not doing anything. I've been carrying my PSA dagger for like the last maybe 7 to 8 months, and I like that gun a lot more than this so far. So I wish I could sell it, but the amount of money I get for it will make no sense for me to sell it. So it's just gonna be sitting in the safe for, you know, backup purposes. This is a really long-winded video. There's a lot more I could have talked about. There's a lot more I probably missed. I just wanted to get the basics of, you know, what to look for in your first carry gun, or your first home defense gun, or just your first gun in general, whether it be a pistol. A rifle is a whole different breakdown. I don't know too much about rifles when it comes to, you know, parts of rifles and the reliability of rifles. Better brands of rifles would be the best way to go. Same thing with pistols, honestly. Your big brands of pistols you usually can't go wrong with, unless you go with, you know, a model like I did, like the SD9VE. I'm not saying it's something wrong with getting an SD9VE if that's really what you want, but if it's not really what you want, I'd say don't settle for something like this, because there are many other carry guns and many other home defense guns that are better than this, let's say. Like I said, thank you for watching. I'm looking to build a community. I'm not doing many competitions now because it's winter time in Michigan and there's not too many competitions going on during the winter time. I'll probably be doing a lot more indoor training, hopefully putting some training videos out. I always say this in the beginning of videos, I don't claim to know everything. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I'm in the learning process, but I wish these videos that I'm making are the videos I wish I could have found when I was beginning out shooting. If you're new or if you're new here, you know, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Follow my Instagram. I'm usually on Instagram, posting every day usually. As of recently, it hasn't been every day, but I'm continuing my dry fire series on Instagram, so check me out there. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.